Hey now! What is up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and this is my 12 Days of Christmas. I just got back from the theaters after seeing Violent Night. This is a 2022 film that was directed by Tommy Wirkola. And this stars David Harbour, who I gotta say, I am happy for David Harbour. Not just because obviously everybody knows him from Stranger Things as the sheriff, and he's pretty much one of my favorite characters from that show, and he's a great actor. But I remember, this was a couple of years now, when he tried to do that Hellboy reboot. And he tried, it's not his fault, but that movie just did not work and bombed, and so I'm glad to see him in a film like this. I'm not saying this is so much better, but I do think this was something fun, and he was able to make this movie, make me enjoy this movie as much as I did. Yes, I had some fun with Violent Night. I did. Not a perfect movie, like I said. The plot is we see that, well, David Harbour plays Santa Claus, and Santa Claus is at the point in his life where he's so low on the idea of Christmas because kids suck, and admittedly they do suck, right? They don't appreciate anything, they don't sit and savor their gifts or what they are given right there, right now. They're just looking forward to what the next thing is and what can I get next and gimme, more. He's not wrong. And so he comes across this house where these mercenaries have taken hostage this family. They're trying to steal money and steal a bunch of shit. And so Santa Claus says, fuck. I need to get involved John McClane style and kill some motherfuckers. And I will say that David Harbour is the best part of this movie. There were scenes and there were moments with him where he was likable, even if he was a little negative or being a dick. The idea of Santa having to kill some motherfuckers, the idea that Santa has the ability and capability of killing motherfuckers in violent and vicious ways. I was all about that. I knew this was rated R going into it, sure, but I wasn't sure how hard they would go with the R. And there was a couple moments, especially with like Santa cutting people's heads off and just impaling people, and there was other scenes of people getting bloody and brutal, and I liked that. I did. Call me sick, call me crazy. Also, I liked Santa, David Harbour's dynamic with the little girl of the family. She's the girl who, she's really one of the only ones that are still hopeful and cheerful and believe in Santa, the whole 9 yards. And so them interacting is what I enjoyed. The rest of the family, I can't say I cared a whole lot about. There was some people in the group. They're the Lightstone family, and the head of, like, the mother is played by Beverly D'Angelo, and she's like the head bitch. She's the one who filthy rich, and she has the money for what the mercenaries are coming there for. Everyone else was just kind of there. There was some people who were more assholey than not. The parents of the daughters, they had this whole thing of, can we get back together? Our daughter wants us to get back together. Cliche. It was fine. It was there. It was in the background. It wasn't really what I was there for. Although one of the hostages, he was like a boyfriend of a family member, was played by Cam Gadet. I never knew how to say that guy's last name, but I remember seeing this dude in a bunch of stuff back in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and I feel like I haven't seen him in a good long while. But when I saw him, I said, oh yeah, that guy. Of course, he's playing a good-looking but kind of dumb, douchey-like guy. That checks the box. The villain, the main villain, because of course you have your henchman, you have your Russian guy, and your badass-looking chick who's evil. But the main guy is John Leguizamo. And of course is John Leguizamo. John Leguizamo just shows up in some of the most random type movies, in some of the most random roles. At least he was the head guy. At least he was the head baddie here. And he's just evil just to be evil. He calls himself Mr. Scrooge. He has this whole backstory for why he hates Christmas. Because sure. And he was fine. He was. I thought there were moments, though, when the script wasn't really, like, the writing and the dialogue wasn't great. I thought they even could have made David Harbour even funnier. I thought he could have had more quips or more one-liners. He could have been more John McClane-like. I know he's Santa, and I know he comes with a certain amount of baggage there, but there were some lines that I thought were cheesy, but not in the funny, good way cheesy, just kind of low-hanging fruit type cheesy. And there was other moments where I think David Harbour more so was making me laugh and bringing probably his own stuff to it. I will give it credit. I looked up and saw that the budget was $20 million, way less than I thought it was. For $20 million, they made this movie look good. There was good practical effects. There was some good Home Alone references, which there's a whole sequence, I should mention this, where a bunch of the criminals, a bunch of the mercenaries get put through some Home Alone traps. And this is what the real life Macaulay Culkin, like if Home Alone was a true story and the bad guys were falling on nails and actually getting bloodied and actually impaling themselves and actually going through the violence that little boy was putting them through. This is the real result. So if nothing else, I appreciate the movie for doing that. I think that there's enough here, though. There's enough here for me to enjoy, to say that I enjoyed. I would recommend it. Yeah, let me know in the comments below if you too saw Violent Night. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later.